Okay, we're working on science. Oh, that didn't look like it was. Oh, yeah. Okay, so on Google Classroom, you have the science design an erosion experiment. So click on that, and it'll bring you a drop down of what we are working on. So our learning target is to create a hypothesis and change one variable to test it. Design an erosion experiment to test your hypothesis. So click on this Google Slides because I made your own copy for each of you. So then when you open it, it should look like this. Design an erosion experiment. Elian, you got it? Thomas, you ready? Okay. Now click onto the next slide. So we have. Yes, thank you for asking. Okay, stream/water erosion setup. So this is like the one that you did with Mrs. Meyer's group when we did outside. So use the photo as your guide to set up your stream table. So number 2, you add the dirt, rocks, and sand to create your land. Raise your land up and choose where to poke the hole in your jug. Allow the water to flow from your jug into the land and observe what happens. Focus. So what happened? What kind of things did you see? I want you to turn and talk to a partner. So Muna and Sophie, Ledger, Alejandro and Elian, you 3, Emma and Ariana, Noah and Bo, Thomas, go with Emma and Ariana. Okay, talk about what happened during this experiment. What happened with the water and the erosion?
We didn't do this assignment.
Yeah, so just like if you had set it up, when you did it outside, what happened when you did it outside? Talk about that. Everybody else did it.
Well, no, water is not water, and there's like stuff in there. We only did like with the flour and the rocks.
You didn't do the one where it had the dirt and the sand? Muna, did you do it? So, Muna, you explain to Sophie what happened.
I wasn't here then.
Okay, back over here. Ready? Back to your seats? Yes, Ariana? Okay, back to your seats. Ready? 10. Elian, back to your desk. 9. 7. Sophie, back to your desk. 6. 5. 4. Thomas, back to your desk. 3. 2. Yeah, but I don't think you're getting much work done over there. Come on, back to your desk. 3. 2. 1. Elian. Okay, Ariana, what happened during this experiment? So it made a river in the land. From the pressure of the water that was falling in, it eroded and created a path, and it made a river. Okay, good. So if we were to change this experiment, what, Thomas? Okay, if we were to change this experiment, what are some things that could change? Or no, sorry, first one. What are some variables in the experiment? What do you think are some of the variables? So a variable is one thing that can be controlled in the experiment. Now what?
The water?
The water?
Not really.
So what do you mean by the water? What could you change with the water?
You could like poke a hole in different areas.
Okay, so poke more holes so that it has a lot of holes. Okay.
And then it will just cause an ocean.
Anything else? Okay. All right. So, do you have space to type it in? Ready?
Oh, no, go to page 6.
Page.
I'm obsessed.
Thomas, go back to your desk. That was not okay. Now. Okay, so on page 6, ready? Variable tested. So one change you would make for the water, Noah said, was have more
I don't know what
holes to pour out water. So predict results from your change. What do you think would happen different? What would be your hypothesis if we changed that?
Hey, Mom. Wait, what? Stop it. For some reason, one slide got deleted.
Just the undo button. Oh, great. We can talk about that later. I need you to follow instructions. Thank you. Did you get it fixed, Noah?
Yep.
Okay, so what's the hypothesis? What do you think would happen different?
It would cause an ocean.
Okay, so it would create typing. It would create an ocean. Period. Quickly, Adia. Ariana, are you ready for the next one? Okay. Okay, you have 10 seconds. Get these two typed in, and then we're moving on for the wind. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So now, for the wind investigation, so that was where we had the dirt on the tray, and then we had the fan on one side, and then a tray standing up to collect the flour on the opposite side. Okay, so what was the result of what happened? Who remembers what happened when we turned on the fan?
I didn't do that.
Bo.
Almost nothing. The flour was too tightly packed, but the flour is supposed to go in the tray.
Okay, so almost nothing happened. There was very little to nothing erosion happening, right? Okay, so now, what is one variable that we could change for that experiment? Ariana?
You can get a paper fan.
Use a paper fan and do it by hand? Okay, so maybe use a paper fan. What's another option? What's another option? What did we say when we came back to class? What could we have done differently?
Use a bigger fan.
Use a stronger fan or a bigger. So use a stronger
Or an army of fans.
fan. Period.
An army of fans.
Okay. Elian, Elian, typing. Thank you. Okay, so now, what is your prediction of what your hypothesis would be if we changed to one of these things? The dirt was what? Who has a hypothesis? The dirt would
move more or less.
erode more. Okay, I like that. The dirt would erode more. Quickly. 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8. Good job, Thomas. 7. Quickly, Ariane. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, last one. Gravity. So the gravity experiment was, it had the tray with the dirt again,
And then the rock.
and there were rocks, and then how was the tray set up, Ledger?
It was set up tilted.
It was tilted, it was at an
and
angle.
You had it tilted so the rocks would move, and when the rocks moved, it slowly scrapes off dirt. And when you put them back up, it would just keep scraping off dirt.
Okay, so what is one variable that we could change with that experiment?
Use like some bigger rocks.
Okay, so use, that's not how you spell use. Capital U because it's the beginning of a sentence. Use bigger rocks. Period. 10 seconds. 10, 9, Elian, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so what is a hypothesis? What do you think would happen if we were to use bigger rocks? What do you think would happen to the dirt? Sophie.
It would roll down and make more rocks. Then,
so like at the bottom there would be more rocks?
Like if every time they roll down, it would create more rocks.
Okay. I'm trying to think of how to write that. So since we're using bigger rocks as they roll down, there would be more rocks at the bottom.
No, it would as they roll down, it would create.
How does it create more rocks?
Because when you're doing it, every time the rocks would roll down, it would create more chunks.
Oh, okay, I get what you're saying. So it would pile up the dirt at the bottom.
Yes.
Okay, because the flour wasn't rocks, the flour was dirt. Okay, so Ariana, question.
Different rocks would block the water.
Sorry, what was that?
They're not on the water one. If we had bigger rocks, it would block the water.
But this one doesn't have water.
No.
Yes. Okay, so Sophie's saying the bigger rocks would erode more dirt to collect at the, Elian, start typing, bottom of the hill, period. Thank you, Emma. Thank you, Mona. Good job, Alejandro. Elian, con las dos manos, pero más rápido. Thank you. The bigger rocks would erode more dirt to collect at the bottom of the hill, period.
Is there anything else we have to do?
Give me a thumbs up if you have all 6 text boxes completed. Thank you. You got it, Leah? All of it? Thank you, Noah. You can put your arm down now. Thank you, Alejandro. No, you do not have to. Okay. All right, I'm moving on to the next one. Elian. Usted no ha acabado. Okay, next one. So now, choose one of the experiments with your change and your new hypothesis and design an experiment to test your hypothesis. So, which experiment would you choose? Wind, water, or gravity? Which variable would you change? What is your hypothesis? Explain how you would test your hypothesis. Okay, this is the last part. So, help me pick one. Which one should I pick? Ledger.
Explain how you test your hypothesis.
Water. Okay. So, which experiment would you choose? I choose the water experiment. Ooh, cannot spell.
Since we're about to finish science, can we get 3 times?
Which variable would you change? Okay, so we're changing the amount of water being.
We have extra recess.
Nobody's going to get anything because people keep talking and I did not call it anything. What variable would you change? Amount of water being. I can't remember what word I'm
Imagine water
speaking.
being used.
Not the amount of water being used, the amount of water being.
Water being
Distributed?
I need a drink of water.
Pull your mask off, raise your hand. Yes, Mama.
Can I get a drink of water?
Okay, so then type in what is your hypothesis and explain how you would test your hypothesis.
Do we have to write exactly what you want? My connection is not right here. Yeah, you took it. So you're the one that took it the whole time, right? I didn't. You didn't. Then who took it? No, it's one of you guys. Give it back to me. I don't have it in it. It has to be the top of your
Okay. What is your hypothesis? So what do we think would happen?
No, it's one of you guys.
It would make erosion.
No.
It would, the pressure would make like it.
No, bro, leave me alone.
The pressure would create an ocean. Period. The pressure will create an ocean. Quickly, Elian? Yes, Emma? Give me your napkin, please. Okay, explain how you would test your hypothesis. Okay, so what did we say? How would we test this? By making more what? By
I'm good.
making more ledger.
I said by doing the experiment.
But you need to explain how you're going to do the experiment.
By doing what the experiment instructions tell us.
But you're changing one thing, so those instructions don't have the one thing that you changed. Exactly. So explain that. So how are we going to test the amount of water being distributed? We're going to, by making more
Water?
not making more water,
Making more holes.
making more holes
That's what I said.
in the water jug. Period. Ariana, are you okay?
No, bro, shut up.
Mohammed, play your mask up, please. Thank you.
What would you do if your favorite is gravity?
Gravity.
No, raise your hand, please. Okay, you got it? Elian, do you have it?
Nope, not yet.
Yes, Noah?
What would you put down if your favorite thing was gravity?
So I chose the gravity experiment. Which variable would you change? So would you use the bigger rocks?
Oh, I mean the last one. The last question. Explain how you
Oh, right here. So explain how you would test your hypothesis. What was your hypothesis?
the bigger rocks would erode more dirt blocks at the bottom.
Okay, so you could test your hypothesis by do you have more dirt collection at the bottom than the first time? Okay, once you are done, click mark as done, and then clean up the floor under and around your desk. Okay, Emma, it is 1:34. Make sure you put the date on there as well, please.
Okay,
Okay. Okay. Click mark as done and start cleaning up your desk area, please.
I dropped a lot of sticky. It's not dismissing. Cool. Yes. I was not good. Why is it good? But so shining it.
Sophia. Sophia, that is not what you need.
Oh yeah. I got. Do you want us to pick up? Do you want us to pick up there? Too late, bro.
Okay, Eliana, go ahead. Go.
Sophia.
Okay, once you're done with that, click mark as done on Google Classroom. Make sure you've typed in all of your answers as well.